Hi, everybody. We're back. We're back with Julie, so you don't have to listen to me blabber on anymore. The questions, Julie, I was going
Mhm.
to ask. Well, I talked about how great the last networking event was, which was at
Oh, good.
Heroic Acts in Linton Hall. Jeff
Yep.
and Rachel Moore are the owners, and I told them that I came for the networking, but I stayed for the breakfast burritos because they
That's
are
what
really
everybody does. You are not alone in that.
and I was saying it was a great event because there were some people there that I knew, but I also met some new people. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
I the impression I'm getting is that all of your events are always going to be new people. So you're not going to see just the same people over and over again. Because when we network, we want to meet new people.
100%.
So I wanted to ask about the sponsors. So you mentioned sponsors for the event. What does a sponsor need to do, and what do they get in exchange?
Sure. So a sponsor needs to reach out to me. And there's several ways to get a hold of me. The easiest way is through Facebook. And on Facebook, my name is Julie Nicholson Burke, Nicholson like Jack, Burke like Burke, Virginia. Um, and my sponsorship level at this particular time is for $100. You will get a shout out in my Facebook group that has 1,100 people in it as a thank you for sponsoring. And you get a minute to speak in front of the audience that attends the meeting. The biggest benefit is that we can then pay for the breakfast burritos at Heroic Acts. And they are a meeting favorite, let me tell you. So I think people are just starting to come for the burritos, really. But yeah, so yeah, it's pretty simple. I try to keep things as simple and easy and right to the point as I can.
Mhm. And are there set dates for the meetings every month?
Typically, yes, but it does depend. I still have school-age children, and so the first meeting that I have of the month is typically the second Wednesday, and that's the one that kind of rotates around Northern Virginia. Um, the upcoming one is April 9th. It's going to be at Pino's Palette in Herndon. Um, then the one that I have out here in the Gainesville, Vint Hill area is typically the fourth Wednesday of the month. But between spring break and Heroic Acts is going to be celebrating their upcoming business anniversary, we're going to take April off and then we'll resume back at Heroic Acts in May. So one of the things that I'm going to do instead of having the second meeting in person is have this Zoom at noon. Um, so anybody can make it, hopefully, and you don't have to take the time to drive to a uh, a particular spot. It's just a little bit easier. It's a little bit faster. It doesn't take as much time out of your day to do Zoom. So
Mhm.
I kind of did that very spur of the moment back in February when we were having a lot of snow in the area, and it was just hard for people to get out. And it worked really well. I don't know, we started out with me and two people for about the first 5 to 7 minutes, and then people just kind of hopped on, and we ended up having about 15.
Mm.
So, and it was very impromptu. So I'm hoping that we'll even have more people on board in April, given that people will know about it way ahead of time.
Mhm. So, but there's an event coming up next week, is there not?
I'm sorry. Yes, there is. That is March 26th. That is at Heroic Acts with the burritos.
Nice.
Yes. Hopefully we'll get some sponsors.
Oh, yeah. So, so you're taking a break in April because Heroic Acts has stuff going on and spring break and all that other stuff. But are you planning? I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. Are you planning on resuming at Heroic Acts in May and after?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. It
Okay.
was just a little blip in April. Yep.
Got it. Got it. And everybody should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
If
It's a
nothing.
lot of fun. And going back to your point about there always being new people, I see it as my job to try to bring as many new people to the group. As much as networking and building your business is about relationship building, and you want to build on those already established relationships, you also have to grow your sphere of influence, meaning you
Mhm.
need to grow how many people you are building that relationship with. So it's really a twofold thing, where you want to come back every month and reestablish that same relationship with somebody that you've been seeing over and over again, but then you want to also bring in new people as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
How would you say, and you know what? I'm gonna ask a two-part question.
Sure.
How would you say that that buzzed networking is different from other networking groups? And I guess in answering that question, the niched marketing that you do for some of your clients, can you explain what you do for them?
What that is. So the actual networking part is probably not very different than another networking meeting that you've been to. Um, with that said, I try to keep things moving along. My meetings are only an hour and a half long. I don't see there a need to drag everything out. Not everybody gets up and talks. It's not that kind of group, or that kind of meeting agenda. It's very much about announcements, thanking our sponsors, networking, maybe have another sponsor talk, somehow get everybody to get up and go to a different table in a very random way. And I'm
Mhm,
always looking for suggestions on how to do that, because I'm running out of my own ideas. Um, but the thought is that there is a second round of networking where people get up, move tables, like I said, in a very random way. So the hope is that you're meeting more people, or you're getting to talk in front of, and you're hearing what they have to say more than sitting with the same people all hour.
mhm,
Um, my niche marketing, I call it reactive marketing. So I feel like, and Jean, you can help me out if you agree with this or not, but I feel like most people have what they call a proactive marketing plan. I'm going to post X amount of times. I'm going to go to networking and talk about me. I'm going to I'm going to speak in front of a group of people to talk about my service or my product. Um, my marketing is different, where it's reactive. So I have a very small team, but I do have a couple people who help me. Um, our reactive marketing is all on social media, typically Facebook and Nextdoor, and Nextdoor is a social media platform, if that's what you want to call it. But people are looking for things on Nextdoor, just as they are on Facebook. So I work with a set of clients that when I come across posts in these different groups that I'm in on these social media platforms, I'm looking for people who are posting looking for the service or the product that my clients provide. When I find something that is a match for a particular client, I will then tag them in that comment, and they can follow up with that potential lead, to turn that into business, hopefully. And from what I hear from my clients, knock on wood, it works. So it's a very niche kind of marketing, in that not every business and not every business plan or owner or product or service is a good um, client for me, if that makes sense.
mhm. So who would be a good client for you? What type of business?
So people online are looking for a lot of trades.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
so I need somebody to paint my house. I need somebody to power wash my house. I need somebody to do my landscaping. Does anybody know? I just had a tree fall down. Does anybody know who can come and cut it down and take it away? That kind of thing.
mhm,
But it has been expanded. I just onboarded a new client yesterday who's a financial advisor, and so people are whatever people are looking for. And I can tell you right away if I've been seeing posts about your business or not, or in your industry, I should say,
mhm.
um, whether it's going to be a good client or not. And I, to a fault, am very honest if it's not a good fit. But I'd rather tell somebody, you need to go talk to like a marketing agency, or somebody who does more of the proactive marketing than my reactive marketing.
Mhm, mhm. I'm glad you explained that because I know what it is that you do, but I didn't know
Mhm.
you referred to it that way as reactive marketing. That makes sense. That totally makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, and come to find out, it's actually a real term. It's an actually real marketing term, and I didn't know that until I Googled it. Um, but it's really just putting my client in front of a an opportunity or a lead,
Mhm.
because that person has already said, "I'm looking for this service. I'm looking
Right,
for this product." Yep.
right. Instead of, "Here's what I do. If you ever need me, give me a call. This person needs you. Call Jean Humbrecht. Call
Right.
so and so." Yeah.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right. You I've tagged you in a post before. Somebody, my son got a ticket. What do I do? I don't know what the next steps is. Call Jean. Um, Always call Jean. That should be your tagline. Always just call Jean. She will help you.
Just call Jean.
Just call Jean.
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
Okay, you go for it.
I
You
gotta
go
pay
for it.
Julie now for the the marketing tagline.
Exactly, exactly. I've called Jean myself. So just call Jean when I say just call Jean. Yep.
And well, only one thing about myself, and we'll get back to Julie. I'm always here to help, and I'm sure just like any other industry, if the person, for whatever reason can't fix your particular problem or issue, they can probably point you in the right direction and suggest somebody who can, because not every plumber can fix every plumbing issue for whatever reason. So at least if you have that connection, even if you can't hire that person for whatever reason, I'm sure they can still be of help.
Well, and that brings up an excellent point. Can I piggyback off of that for a
Mhm,
second?
mhm,
That's really talking about now collaborating, right?
mhm,
Collaborating and networking with people who do either the same thing or something relatively close to what you do. I'm assuming you know other criminal and traffic lawyers in the
mhm,
area, right? I know other people who run networking groups. Um, plumbers know other plumbers. And
mhm.
I really want to say that that collaboration is key. It is not competition. It is
Right.
collaboration because you don't know when they may have somebody approach them and they're not able to help and they will refer you and vice versa. And it goes both ways. And it's not a tit for tat. It's not well, I did this for you, so now you need to do this for me. It's called collaboration.
Mhm,
And I'm gonna try to hit that home as much as possible. Because what a great feeling to tell. I mean, it's not a great feeling to tell somebody, I'm sorry, I can't help you for whatever the reason the case is. But I know somebody who can,
mhm,
and here's their information. Just
mhm,
tell them I told you to call.
mhm.
They hopefully they'll take the call. So, you don't ever want to leave a potential client hanging, because more often than not, that potential client will remember that you did that.
Mhm.
And it may turn into business later on down the road. It may not, but they will not forget that you did that.
And even if it doesn't turn into business for that particular person that you couldn't help, they might refer you to someone who does need your service, their neighbor, their friend, their daughter, their son.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that's just the kind of place where I know I want to be. That's what I try to promote in my group. And I know that there are other groups out there that are promoting the same thing. My point is we should all be doing it and we should all be
Mhm,
promoting it. Yep.
mhm. Yep. No, I totally agree.
Yes.
I think I asked all the questions that I had. Is there anything
Okay.
else you want to, tell everybody about Buzz Networking or any specific events coming up or
I do, because I feel like I jumped around a little bit.
Oh, no, I
No,
didn't think so, but go
okay.
go ahead.
So I have three coming up that I really want people to know about. So next Tuesday, which is March 25th, is a business education workshop, which is the marketing and video workshop with James O'Leary and Rick James. Rick James, Rick Hughes. we've been
You even made a joke about that in your Facebook post.
we've been calling. They were like, oh, we should enter the room to Super Freak, and so they turned it into Super Geek, and look what happened. I just called them Rick James. It's James O'Leary and Rick Hughes are doing a marketing and video workshop next Tuesday, March 25th in Alexandria. It is free. I just asked people to register through an Evite link so we can plan for the number of people who will be there. Next Wednesday is a free networking meeting at Heroic Acts, which is in the Vent Hill area of Warrenton. It is not in Warrenton proper. It's just over the line from Gainesville. They do have a Warrenton address, but it's in the Vent Hill area of Warrenton. That's at 10 o'clock. That again is free. I just ask that you register through the Evite link. So again, we can plan on the number of people who will be there. And then we will be in Herndon at Pino's Palette on April 9th at 10 o'clock for more free networking.
Okay, I was typing these in the chat. Pino's Palette, what was the date?
April 9th.
April 9th at 10 a.m., right?
Yep.
Okay, they're all in the chat.
Awesome.
And please go and visit Julie's Facebook group and page so that you can see these and join the group and be able to participate, because Julie is very active in this group. Oh, you didn't talk about the opportunities to go live on Monday.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah. Oh, absolutely. Okay. So Marketing Monday.
Sorry.
No. I'm glad that you brought it up. You're right. So every Monday is Marketing Monday in my group. I personally don't post that day. I try to post every other day, but that's the day that I let you guys post. And that is business owners' opportunities to post whatever they want. If it's an ad, if it's a sale, if it's an event, if it's whatever they want to. This is where they can say, if you need my product or service, please feel free to reach out to me. Here's the best way to get a hold of me. I have been encouraging people to go live to talk about their business rather than just post. And going back to our initial reason is people purchase from other people that they know, like, and trust. And when you can't meet somebody in person, I will always say meet somebody in person 100% of the time if you can. If your time will allow for it, if your schedule allows for it, always meet in person. It is just a different vibe. Am I right, Jean?
You are right.
I am right. However, if that's not possible, hop on a Zoom, go live, talk about your business, talk about why you started it, talk about whatever you want to talk about, because people will then be able to see your personality to at least make a more informed decision, whether they know, like, or trust you, and it will give them a more informed chance or opportunity for them to say, hey, I want to meet this person in person, or I want more information. It just makes that timeline shorter. It is the fastest way for somebody to know, like, and trust you if you cannot meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I try to encourage people to go live. Yeah, but you don't have to, but I think it's the better thing to do.
I agree with Julie. I think it is a good thing to do. And it's so hard for me to just talk to the camera when there's nobody else to have a conversation with. It is really hard, but I make myself do it. And this past Monday, I don't know if you saw it, Julie, but I actually made a St. Patrick's joke related to my job about how if you pinch somebody not wearing green, that is a battery. That's an unwanted touching. And you
I missed that.
Well, I'm usually not creative, but it worked out perfectly. It was St. Patrick's Day, so I'm like, I'm going with the St. Patrick's thing.
I love it. I do try to catch them, but I must have missed that one. So I'm glad you brought it back up. That is great. Well, I used to not like to go live myself, and I'm very much an extrovert. I can talk to anybody, but I would always say, oh, my hair is not done and I don't have any makeup on, and I would come up with some excuse that was just really in my head. Now, as Jean very well knows, I saw her this morning at our workout facility, and she asked me to do this, and I said, well, I'm going to look like this when we talk this afternoon. I still have my workout hair on. I've got my workout clothes on. I did throw on a hoodie over top of it. But it's my way of saying it doesn't matter what you look like. People really don't care. They're not thinking about me as much as I think they're thinking about me. And that's what I had to kind of overcome in my own head, where I just feel like my words will speak more for me than what my hair is doing.
Right.
And so I just try to, I mean, I don't purposely come on looking drab and drag like this, but at the same time, I've committed to myself to working out. I'm not going to not do that because I've made this commitment to myself. It's okay that my hair is not done. It's okay that, I don't have any makeup on, and it's okay that I might have a zit coming up on my nose, but it's all right. It's all right.
But you know what, Julie? Nobody would know that you worked out and didn't change or take a shower. Nobody would see. There's no way I could even see a zit. And now I'm looking for it. See, nobody
Oh,
would.
it's there. It's there. Trust me.
Nobody would know. But
Okay.
you're right. We do worry more, like way more about ourselves than and freak out about things that other people don't even notice. But you're right though. It's getting over that and just going live. And then once you do it the first time, the second time, it well, honestly, I think after the first time, it just gets so much easier.
Well, it doesn't slow down my day anymore. Do you know what I mean? And I just get on and do what I need to do, looking the way that I happen to be looking at that particular moment. Check, done, move on to the next thing. I'm
Hmm.
much more productive.
Hmm.
Not caring as much about that.
Well, I mean, you're right because you're super busy just like I am. You might not have time to go home and change before you have to, get to some meeting, but you're not going to skip your meeting because you didn't have time to go home. I mean, you
Right,
do what you got to do. And, of course, in a perfect world, like we would want to look all put together all the time, but it's just not possible.
right, right,
So,
right. And
yeah,
I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out. I don't know about you, Jean.
I've been to a couple of the classes at 6 a.m. I have never made it to a 5 a.m.
Those people are superhuman, in my opinion. God bless them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I can say. Like I am a morning person. I like to get up and have my coffee and do whatever work I need to do, but just casually. I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. to have to rush out the door to go do something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. No, I get it. I get it. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there
Of course.
anything else you want to tell everybody about BuzzED before we
The Facebook group is Buzz Networking Dash Northern Virginia. And if you need it, you can either reach out to myself or Jean can certainly um, hook you up as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Julie, thanks so much for coming on. When I end the live, don't take off just yet. We can talk
Okay.
for another 15 seconds because you and I will still be here. But thanks
Okay.
everybody so much for watching. And thank you, Julie, for your time. And everybody really should check out one of Julie's events because she has so many options for you. If you can't make the one at Heroic Acts next week, there's one in Herndon in April, and there's one in Alexandria next week as well. So there are so many options for and then check out the Zoom ones if you just can't get out of the house. There's
Right.
an option for everybody. So check it out, and I look forward to seeing all of you at one of Julie's events. And have a good day. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.